Hi, I'm Josh, and this is my album review for Whitechapel The Valley. Now, I think this is a really good album. I think it's probably one of the best albums of last year, 2019. There's some really good stuff on it. Really solid album. There's really not a lot wrong with it too much, apart from a couple of little things here and there. But it's probably their most progressive album that the band has done. And they have changed their sound a little bit over the years. They have changed their sound. It's very clear with this album, with a couple of songs that you probably usually wouldn't hear on a Whitechapel album. But yeah, they mixed it up a bit. But it could still be considered one of their best albums that they've done. Right. I think my top three songs are When a Demon Defiles a Witch, Forgiveness is Weakness, and We Are One. Although it was really hard to make a top three because there easily could be 5 or 6 songs off this album that could have been in my top three. It was really hard to pick, but them 3 I went for in the end. I think When a Demon Defiles a Witch is a brilliant opener to the album. It really kind of shows what the album's going to be like. Some really heavy, brutal riffs in there. Phil's vocals, he does change it up a bit. He does his usual death metal vocals, and then halfway through the song he does this really lovely clean singing, which he doesn't really do. I mean, he done it a little bit on the previous album, but not a lot. He done it quite a lot more on this album, and it kind of just sets the whole album up really. Pretty cool solo in the middle of the song. So yeah, one of my favourites. Forgiveness is Weakness. It's probably the heaviest song on the album. Some really heavy riffs, some really cool stuff on that song. Probably a bit too short really, but some real cool death metal kind of sounding riffs on that song. And then We Are One. It's got to be one of my favourites on the album. Probably one of my favourite Whitechapel songs. It's got a really cool guitar solo in it. The vocals by Phil is absolutely brutal. The breakdown at the end of the song is absolutely unbelievable. So damn heavy. Oh my word. So damn heavy. Right, let's get into the rest of the album. Brimstone was track 3, and that was a really cool song. Some really cool vocals on that song as well. Some real cool. Yeah. The outro solo and the riff at the end where it fades out. I love that bit. That's probably my favourite bit of the whole song, where he's doing a lot of the whammy bar stuff, and it's just got that riff that goes to the end of the song. Really cool. Hickory Creek. At first I wasn't too sure on this song, but the more I listened to it, the more I liked it, and I think it's a really good song. His vocals, I don't think he does a single bit of screaming or death metal growls on that song. It's just his clean singing voice, which is fine. I mean, it's not real accustomed to deathcore stuff, but I think it's a good song. That next one, Black Bear. Well, that's a real cool groovy kind of song. It's got a really cool groovy riff in it, which is really cool, and the breakdown in the middle of the song is just absolutely badass as hell. Next song, The Other Side. I think that's a really good song. That was really close to getting in the top 3. Some really cool riffs, some really cool death metal-esque riffs in that song, and the solo is pretty cool. Yeah, really good track. One of the best on the album. Third Depth. Again, Phil, clean vocals in the verses, and the break in the middle of the track. where he's talking about that he's not stable, which is a bit messed up. But, yeah, cool guitar riff for the chorus, but I still think they've nicked that riff of Gojira. There's a song off La Fante Sauvage, and it sounds very similar to that riff. Lovelace was very, very close again for being in the top 3. It's such an awesome heavy riff. The whole song is just heavy as hell. So badass, it's so cool. The drumming is brilliant on that song. And I think it's a bit too short. I would have liked it to have gone on a bit longer, really, with some of them riffs. Really, really cool. And the last song on the album, Doom Woods, it's my least favourite. It's the one song that I'm not a fan of. It kind of drags on. You know, after the first 2 minutes, it just drags on, and it's just like, okay, this kind of... But it has that doom metal sound to it, which I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a fan of doom metal too much, so yeah. But it's not all bad, because the opening riff, like the start of the song, I really like. That riff at the beginning of the song's really, really cool, really groovy and really cool. Yeah, I think Phil's vocals are really good. The guitars, Ben's leads are really good on this album, like they always are. And Zach and Alex on the rhythm. Yeah, they're 3 guitar players, if you didn't know. They've got such a good sound. 3 guitarists make a brilliant sound. Look at Iron Maiden. Gabe on the bass, done some cool bits, but it's not really present too much. Doesn't really stand out too much to me, his bass. But Naven K, they got Naven K on drums, and he was excellent. Even though he's not in the band, he just played on the record and then left or whatever. And they've got the new guy in. I can't remember his name. Whoops. I'll probably have it here or here or something. So yeah. But yeah, overall, I think this is a brilliant album. There's nothing much wrong with it. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Very close to a 10. Very close to a 10. But yeah. Right, this has been this album review. What do you think of this album? I'd love to know what you think of this album. And what's your favourite album by Whitechapel? Because there's quite a few out there. I didn't realise that they'd done 7 albums in their short amount of time. But yeah, if you like this, like it, sub, and if you haven't subscribed, share it with people that you think would like this content. You know, there's playlists on the channel and all that, and any feedback on this video or any other videos that I've done is much appreciated, because I'd love to be better at this. Right, okay, so I'll see you in the next one. Keep it metal.